Jordan Clarkson's turnaround fadeaway and Ariel Hugporty's thunderous dunk pushed New York to their biggest lead, 19 points. Julian Champagnie caught fire from beyond the arc. His back-to-back threes in the third and fourth sparked San Antonio's rally. De'Aaron Fox drove to the rim. His layup put San Antonio ahead. Luke Kornet's putback pushed San Antonio's lead to 3 points. Keldon Johnson sealed the win, 134-132. Victor Wembanyama opened the scoring with a silky smooth 19-foot pull-up. Mikal Bridges knotted it with a mid-range jumper, but Jalen Brunson sprinted the floor and converted a fast break finish to give the Knicks the early edge. Mohamed Diawara caught fire from deep, burying back-to-back threes to push New York further ahead. Wembanyama tried to spark a response, throwing down a ferocious alley-oop slam, but the Knicks had seized control of this opening quarter. Bridges drilled a deep triple to stretch the visitors' buffer. Harrison Barnes attacked the basket for San Antonio, and De'Aaron Fox then sliced through the defense for another bucket as the Spurs began chipping away at the margin. Fox completed a fast break finish to tie the game at 13. Luke Kornet then threw down an alley-oop slam to give San Antonio their first lead, and Julian Champagnie splashed a confident bomb as the Spurs suddenly seized the momentum. Karl Anthony Towns answered immediately from distance. Brunson then buried a transition bomb to reclaim the advantage for New York, and he kept the pressure on with a driving floater off the glass to stretch the margin even further. Towns continued his hot shooting with another rainbow from distance. Champagnie countered with his own from deep, keeping San Antonio within striking distance. Brunson rose up from mid-range to push the Knicks further in front. Keldon Johnson tipped one in to cut the deficit for San Antonio, but Ariel Hugporty then finished inside to restore New York's cushion heading into the final stretch. Miles McBride knocked down a mid-range shot to keep New York rolling. Johnson floated one home to keep San Antonio fighting, but McBride came right back with a devastating deep ball to open up a 6-point gap for the visiting Knicks. Johnson crashed the boards for a putback to keep the Spurs in the fight. Kevin McCullough Jr. responded with a deep tray to push New York's edge back to 7. Tyler Kolek buried a transition tray to blow this one wide open. Fox connected on a confident mid-range shot in the closing seconds, but Hugporty finished at the buzzer. The Knicks carry a 36-45 lead into the second. The second quarter opened with Karl Anthony Towns cutting to the basket for a finish, then converting the and-one free throw to push the Knicks further ahead. De'Aaron Fox answered from beyond the arc to trim the deficit for San Antonio. Mikal Bridges immediately responded with a long bomb to restore the comfortable cushion. Victor Wembanyama took over with a smooth turnaround. Then Julian Champagnie splashed one from distance to pull San Antonio within striking distance. The French phenom continued his brilliance with a driving layup in traffic, then hammered home a thunderous fast break alley-oop as San Antonio clawed back. Mikal Bridges drilled a confident tray to extend New York's cushion. Devin Harper sliced through for a driving score to keep San Antonio within reach, but OG Anunoby threw down a powerful slam to push the margin right back out for New York. Anunoby wasn't done. He hammered home another ferocious dunk in transition to ignite the crowd. Jalen Brunson added a silky pull-up on the run. Then Clarkson converted a running layup as the Knicks began to pull away from San Antonio. Clarkson caught fire, first burying a long bomb on the run, then spinning for a gorgeous turnaround fadeaway to push New York to their biggest advantage of the night. Fox finally stopped the bleeding with a step back from mid-range. Ariel Hugporty powered home a vicious dunk to reach the largest margin at 19 points. Wembanyama refused to quit, draining back-to-back rainbows from beyond the arc. The Knicks carry a 60-73 edge into halftime. Coming out of halftime, Harrison Barnes attacked the rim for San Antonio. Karl Anthony Towns answered with a driving bucket and converted the and-one free throw to push the cushion back to 11. The Knicks in control early in the third. De'Aaron Fox finished on the run to chip away at the deficit. But Miles McBride caught fire, first burying a step-back triple, then adding a smooth mid-range pull-up to stretch New York's margin to 12 in the middle of the quarter. McBride continued his hot streak with another confident tray to push the gap to 14. Victor Wembanyama responded with a silky driving floater in the lane. Julian Champagnie ignited the comeback, draining a bomb to spark the rally. Stephon Castle then finished in transition to cut the deficit to single digits. The forward connected again from beyond the arc to pull San Antonio within 3. He then splashed another to knot it up, his third straight, but Mikal Bridges immediately answered with a clutch tray to restore New York's slim edge. Wembanyama knocked down a mid-range shot to keep the Spurs within 1. Guerschon Yabusele then finished a finger roll in transition to push New York ahead. Champagnie buried his fourth rainbow of the quarter to tie it at 91. Keldon Johnson then gave San Antonio their first lead since the halftime break. Jordan Clarkson flipped the lead right back with a clutch bomb. Jalen Brunson then took over in the closing seconds, draining back-to-back daggers from distance to give New York a 93-102 edge into the fourth. Entering the fourth down 9, De'Aaron Fox threw down a thunderous slam to ignite the rally. Jordan Clarkson answered with a transition dunk for New York. Clarkson added another bucket on the break to stretch the Knicks' cushion back to double digits. Keldon Johnson attacked the rim to chip away at the deficit. Mikal Bridges converted a cutting finish, and OG Anunoby hammered home a slam to push New York's advantage to 11, the Knicks threatening to pull away. Julian Champagnie sparked the Spurs' comeback with back-to-back bombs, draining a confident triple, then burying another on the run to cut the deficit to 5. Jalen Brunson floated one home to keep New York ahead, but the Spurs' point guard attacked the paint with back-to-back silky floaters, slicing through the defense twice to trim it to 4 as San Antonio continued clawing back in this battle. Clarkson drilled a confident tray to push the margin back out for New York, but Champagnie refused to quit, splashing another from deep, then burying a rainbow on the run to knot it up as the Frostbank Center erupted in celebration. The point guard drove baseline to give San Antonio their first lead since the first quarter. Karl Anthony Towns crashed the glass for a tip-in to tie it. De'Aaron knocked down a mid-range pull-up to put San Antonio back in front. Miles McBride fired back with a clutch triple to cut it to 1 down the stretch. Kornet muscled home a second-chance bucket to push the Spurs' edge to 3. McBride countered with a pull-up on the break to make it a 1-point game. Kornet added another tip-in with under a minute left. Brunson buried a deep bomb to give New York the lead, then drained another at the buzzer, but San Antonio held on for the 134-132 victory.
What a finish! The Spurs hold on despite Brunson's heroics. If you enjoyed this one, smash that like button and subscribe for more NBA highlights. Drop a comment below. Was Champagnie's 36 the difference maker? See you next time.